In Nigeria, we practice three tiers of government, namely federal, state, and local governments. The third tier of government, the local government, is closer to the people and is expected to cater for the needs of those in the grassroots. Local governments are given allocations by federal government through the state government, who is also expected by law to transfer same to the local government account. Very recently, the Lagos state government and the federal government were entangled over local government funds, which were held back by the federal government over creation of additional local governments in Lagos State. However, the question is, has local government lived up to their responsibilities as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution of making life comfortable for the people they are supposed to govern? During our last tour of the United States of America, we took a cursory look at the three tiers of government and zeroed down on Sunbury in the Commonwealth state of Pennsylvania. We were also made to understand that the local government has its own police. This takes us back to the days of regional government in Nigeria, where regional constabularies existed. The governor of the state of Pennsylvania only releases money to the council once in a year and when they have serious projects to execute. Once the fund has been released to undertake the project, it can never be diverted for any other project except that which is meant for. The local government council is not overbloated, as it is run by the mayor and a secretary and a 9-member council board who works on a voluntary basis. This is an expose that would be of benefit to government officials and the public in Nigeria. Welcome to Crime Fighters. There's a world of difference between how local government administration functions in the United States of America and in Nigeria. Using the town of Sunbury in Commonwealth of State of Pennsylvania in the United States as a case study, we discovered that to a large extent, the third tier of government is independent of the state and federal governments. The town of Sunbury, established in 1772, has about 12,000 inhabitants, with over 50% of its town's population in retirement. The Sunbury Town Council does not receive any monetary allocations from the federal government, but generates its own money to fund operations because, as some of the officials of the committee puts it, they don't have any business with the government at the center. David Passeng, who has been mayor of the town for 16 years, also doubles as the chairman of the council. The town has a 9-member board which assists the mayor in overseeing the day-to-day running of the affairs of the town. Sunbury also has a police station with 15 police officers on its payroll, and up-to-date armory that will make an area command in Nigeria grin with envy. According to the mayor of Sunbury, David Passeng, the city recruits its police officers, pays their salaries, and appoints police chiefs, while the state of Pennsylvania creates laws that binds and determine their area of jurisdiction so as not to have any conflict with the county or state police.
In the city of Sunbury, the chief of police makes about $56,000 per year, and when you end up with the benefits and everything, and he's probably almost at $75,000. He is probably, he is the highest paid employee of the city of Sunbury. The state of Pennsylvania, not the federal, the state of Pennsylvania actually creates what they call third-class city code, which the city of Sunbury is within the third-class city code. So there's laws and rules that we have to live by. Now, by being a third-class city, we can adopt ordinances that says no parking on Market Street, for an example. We can't adopt an ordinance if the state of Pennsylvania says the speed limit will be 55 miles an hour. The city of Sunbury can't say we're going to make it 75 miles an hour. So there's rules and laws that they create that we must live by, but then we have the opportunity to create laws of our own to help our own people within our own little area, which is the city of Sunbury. The state of Pennsylvania, not the federal, the state of Pennsylvania actually creates what they call third-class city code, which the city of Sunbury is within the third-class city code. So there's laws and rules that we have to live by. Now, by being a third-class city, we can adopt ordinances that says no parking on Market Street, for an example. We can't adopt an ordinance if the state of Pennsylvania says the speed limit will be 55 miles an hour. The city of Sunbury can't say we're going to make it 75 miles an hour. So there's rules and laws that they create that we must live by, but then we have the opportunity to create laws of our own to help our own people within our own little area, which is the city of Sunbury.
David Passeng says he chose to run for election as a mayor instead of going to the capital, Harrisburg, in order to serve the local people, adding that it is the only place he could make a difference.
And I thought I could do better than the city council person, so I actually ran for council and I beat that person. So I got involved. So for 2 years I sat on city council as a council person in charge of Parks and Recreation. Well, then as I learned more about city government, how it actually worked, I thought that would be a good opportunity to run for mayor because I thought I could do a better job than him. And I actually ran for mayor, and of course I won that. So for the course of 4 terms, I've been elected mayor of the city of Sunbury for 4 consecutive terms. What it means to me is I'm a big believer in family values, and that's why I live in a town of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, where again there's 12,000 people, because I think you have the opportunity to do things with your family. You don't have, we all have hectic lives, don't get me wrong, but we also have the opportunity to go down and watch our grandkids play softball or our kids play baseball, that type of thing, and do it as a family. So that's why I got involved, and that's why I think local government is so important, because you can make differences in local government.
Unlike our system, where gratification and lobbying is the order of the day, Mayor Paseng says that unethical behavior is discouraged in all its entirety.
And at the level that I'm at, I mean, there's rules that are written, there's rules that aren't written. What you're talking about is the lobbyist, and I guess the sad thing about that whole situation is it's been going on for 100 years. I remember reading about the delay when they come out with it. Well, now I guess there's 550 trips, and there's more Democrats that did it than Republicans did it. So I guess where the fine line is, are you doing it to benefit your future? You're doing it for a vacation for your family, or whatever you may be. I guess you can compare that. I don't know that we're talking about millions and millions of dollars like they did with the fuel for funding, or whatever they
oil for food.
Yeah, that's what it was over there. And again, I think everything that they've done in the Senate that DeLay has done and those people have done is pretty much public information. Maybe not who paid it, but everybody knows if 6 guys went to China on an economic development type thing, if it was paid by those lobbyists or wasn't paid to those lobbyists. I don't know that anybody just took money from, just went to China for a vacation type thing, but it's like we can go, and it happens a lot. Let's say, that doesn't happen a lot in the city government. We could go to a seminar in Harrisburg, let's say for the state of Pennsylvania, and maybe one of the guys takes his wife out that night and goes to a play, all right, where he should have been at a meeting. Is that unethical? I don't know. Would I do it? No, but does somebody else? So you're sort of like bending the rules, that type of thing. But that's just it's a much larger level. You're never going to see something like that at the level of government we're at. And I can understand where it's coming back from. But I don't know if I consider that corruption. Corruption is me when I give somebody a contract because I put money in my pocket. To me, that's corruption. If I said to you, I'm going to give you the street paving project in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, but I want, and my bank account goes up $20,000, then those people should be in jail. To me, that's unethical. If somebody says, I'm going to give you 2 tickets to go see a Penn State football game this afternoon, and you go with a busload of people to go see a Penn State football game, is that unethical because you got $50 worth of free tickets? I think that's where you have to draw the line.
The council, according to Paseng, executes its projects through self-help and taxes, and because of this, the council does not overshoot its budget.
Well, the only direct funds we get as a city is what we call our community block grant funds, and that's federal money that's coming down that goes through the state. It's actually federal money that goes to the state. The state divides it up based on population. So the actually only money that the city of Sunbury gets is like $400,000 a year, and that's for what we call community block grant. We use like $60,000 of that for administrative value, and somewhere around $360 in there we end up using for actual projects. But you can't run the city of Sunbury on that. That has to be used for specific projects. Let's say like our riverfront project. If we wanted to help improve our ice skating rink for recreation, there's certain things you can do. It must meet certain requirements. The actual money that runs the city of Sunbury all comes from taxpayers. There's no federal money there, there's no state money there. Now, I guess to go another step, there's grant monies out there, what we call grant monies at the state level and the federal level, and there's private foundations. So if I have, for an example, a recreation project, I can go to the state recreation, I can go to the federal recreation, I can go to private recreations, I can fill out all kinds of applications and describe projects that I want to do, and I might get $50,000 from here and $25,000 from there and $100,000 from there, and that's how we get the projects. And at that level, that's when you use your people like your congressmen, your representatives, and those type of things to help you get those grants. But in answer to your question, the only direct money that we get is that block grant money, and that cannot be used. Like I can't pay my police chief, I can't buy cars. That has to be used for basic projects that are going to improve the city of Sunbury. Like the city, we can't own the property. We could help you as a new industry. You want to come in town, maybe want to help clean up an old building, that type of stuff. So there's specific things that money can be used for, but general concept is you can't use that to actually run the city.
The level of transparency in government is so high that Calvin Truppe, a council board member and a contractor, cannot bid for any contract in Sunbury while on the board of the council. Rather, he has to resign first before showing interest in any contracts.
No, not that I know of, no. I mean, we have a city engineer who looks over all the projects that happens. And then after that's done, and if we're using liquid fuel money or if we're using community block grant money, that's when the state comes in and they start auditing the money where it's being spent. And they know how much it's going to cost to do this or to do that, or how much millings it's going to take, or how much fill it's going to take, to do a street, or how much asphalt it's going to take to run 2 blocks. No, too many people find it. I mean, it's just impossible to be done. It's just that's too much check and balances. I mean, we have people overlooking me. I say, okay, we're going to award it to such and such a construction company, and okay, that turns it over to the solicitor. The solicitor look at it. He'll okay the contract. Then it gets turned over to the city engineer, and then the city engineer will make sure that it's priced right. That he priced it right for the millings, priced right for the asphalt, or the backfill, or the gravel. Then after that's all done at year end, then the state comes in and they audit our books. And they'll say, okay, how come you spent this much for that? How come you spent this much? And it has to be pretty much right on the nose. Or somebody's going to be asking questions why it is. I was born and raised in this city. I have a reputation. People know me from all over this town. From back when I started coaching baseball, back when I was 15 years old. I have kids now that are presidents of university who are eye doctors, who are physicians. That wouldn't float with me, especially in my respect for myself. But, I can't say there's people out there who don't do it, but that doesn't happen anymore.
The police chief in Sunbury, Rick Rogbaja, grew up in the town and knows virtually everybody who lives there. According to him, the police in the United States of America have a common forum where they all share ideas.
Your National Chiefs of Police is a common forum. They have a Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police, in which I'm both a member of both those agencies, organizations, excuse me. Locally, we meet with our district attorney's office once a month to try to talk about different things that are available, different grants, different funding, different programs that are out there. But other than that, the internet is the best way I keep track of things.
John Smith, a sergeant with the Sunbury Police, showed us around the station while displaying their high-caliber arms and ammunition.
Our tactical team has this is a normal.
This is huge. This is a machine gun.
This is a tactical rifle, which is carried by our SWAT team members for use on armed suspects or whatever. It's a lighted system, which means you can squeeze the handle and the light lights up.
It has red lights.
Yeah, it has a light on it and also a rifle scope with a collapsible stock, and it has a 30-round magazine that you slide in. One, yeah, but I mean we carry 5 or 6 on us.
Okay.
So it's a regular scoped rifle that you can use. It's called a close quarter combat weapon. If you look in there, you can see a scope.
It's heavy.
Okay. You put this on your shoulder.
Like this?
No. On your shoulder.
Like this?
Right there. Right.
Okay.
And then you look in there and you can see this with
Okay,
your right eye.
The target. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Wherever the dot is where the bullet goes. That's what you have to remember. We have that style. We
We just got all this stuff within the last couple of years. We didn't have any of this.
we have
It was amazing how we got it all.
this is another one. It's just kind of the same way. This is called a holograph sight.
Okay.
Which is the same as what most DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency.
Drug enforcement, yeah.
This is what they carry. It's the same weapon they carry. If you can look in there, you can see the red holograph in there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
So you can basically put the weapon around the corner. Somebody else can look at it wherever that holograph sight's at. That's where your bullet will go. And then we have there are different lighting systems because this one here also has a light system. You pull that, the trigger or the squeeze panel here for at night or inside of dark areas.
Do you do stuff?
For
What's the
what?
name of this weapon?
This is H&K.
Okay.
UMP 40. It's a 40 caliber submachine gun, fully automatic. Shoots 1 round burst, 2 round burst, or full auto. Probably you could probably shoot 50, 60,000 rounds in this and never get a jam.
Taken and doing ourselves.
Okay.
Down in our other station, we had a cinder block wall type cell, and I didn't like that. It's a liability risk. I want to be able to see the person in there, so this is what we have. And we have all kinds of regulations that we have to have. If it's a juvenile, there's special paperwork you have to fill out that gets sent to Harrisburg, to the state.
Yeah, but if you have a hardened criminal, you put such person here, he can cut off this thing and get out.
No, he's supposed to be handcuffed to the bench. Now he gets handcuffed. He gets handcuffed to the bench. We use leg irons.
Yeah, but wouldn't that
We use leg irons. We put them on their feet, so they can't go very far.
Yeah, but that's, are you not abusing the right of a person?
Once they're in here, their rights are pretty much terminated.
In Nigeria, there are restrictions to certain arms that can be carried at a particular time by the policeman. But Longbaja says this is not the case in the US because of the amendments in the Firearms Act.
That doesn't happen. They're trained to shoot 2 at a time, but when you tell them to keep firing until the person's not firing back.
Local government administration would make more impact in Nigeria if those aspiring to be local government officials see it as a calling to serve the people and not an opportunity to enrich themselves.